Back in the beginning of February, I spent the day making some images with my dear friend Delilah, who is an incredible artist, costumer, and absolute style icon and inspiration to me. We didn't have much of a plan going into the shoot. All I knew was that I loved her style and I wanted to photograph her in her beautiful home. I love photographing people in their own spaces when possible because you really get so much more of a sense of their personality. Outfit-wise, I told her I love everything I've ever seen her wear, which is true, and to just go for whatever she was feeling on the day, which turned out to be this gorgeous witchy Victorian look. I had just gotten a vintage Polaroid SL and some black and white film, so we started the shoot with that, and I love how vampire-esque it came out. Really makes me think of what we do in the shadows. Then we moved on to the main shoot, using my beloved Mamiya RB67 with a 127mm lens. We started off with a very simple portrait with the soft February daylight filtering in through the window. I generally like to start off very simple as it gives a bit of time for both me and the person I'm photographing to get situated. I think the thing I'm most known for at this point is taking the time to adjust details down to specific strands of hair. Nothing drives me up the wall more than fringe gaps or elastic bands forgotten on wrists. And yes, I am a Virgo. I am a bit frustrated with my composition here because I've accidentally cut off a little bit of her shoulder, but that's okay, it's only the first shot of the day. For the second shot, I asked Delilah to just play around with moving her hands softly as if she was touching the light. It's what she aptly refers to as whimsy goth Reiki hands. Then I had her do something similar, but with her hands more towards the camera. One of my favourite things about this camera and lens combo is having it wide open and making use of the beautifully shallow depth of field. I really like the combo of palms outstretched towards the camera and direct eye contact. Delilah has this beautiful bedspread I couldn't not make use of, so I got her to lie down and relax while I faffed about with getting the right angle, which is really difficult to do when you're shooting from above and you're only 5'4" on a good day. To get the angle I wanted, I ended up having to stand on Petrus's camera box, and even then I still had to go on my tiptoes as well. I really should just invest in one of those small fold-away steps. I think it was worth the faffing around in the end though. I think it came out really lovely. This was Delilah's first shoot in a while because she'd been battling some health issues in the last year, so it meant a lot for her to be in front of the lens again, and it meant a lot to me to be trusted with portraying her. At one point, she casually mentioned that she had a dagger, and I couldn't resist. I loved how delicate the dagger looked, despite being a weapon, so we went for something that embraced that. Soft, but lethal. For the second image, I wanted to fully lean into the Victorian drama and tragedy of it all, and I think it's safe to say we definitely achieved that. I can't remember if this was a belt, necklace, or a wall hanging originally, but whatever it was, I immediately had the vision of Delilah holding it up to her temple, like a wizard casting a spell to summon the sunshine. I was definitely influenced by the fact that it was February in England, and yes, I do suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Speaking of which, we moved over to the window to get as close to the natural light as possible. The embroidery on the cuffs of Delilah's jackets were too good not to feature in some way, so I had her move her hands to her face so they'd be in frame. In hindsight, I kind of wish I'd had the backs of her hands touching her cheeks instead. I really wanted to get a shot of Delilah at her desk surrounded by her art and materials. Unfortunately, there was barely any natural light reaching the desk, but fortunately we had a tube light on hand. I really like the contrast of light and dark here. I spotted a bouquet of dried roses hanging on the wall that I thought would be fun to use. As it turns out, Delilah's partner gets some flowers every Sunday when they're in town, and Delilah preserved all of the ones she could into this bouquet. I'm a huge romantic, and when I heard the story and the meaning behind them, it made me even more excited to make images featuring them. I had her close her eyes for one of them, just basking in the love and romance, and it just looked so nice that I had to get one with eyes open too. This one I feel is more yearning, looking to the future, perhaps dreaming of the next time she'll see her lover. As we started winding down towards the end of the shoot, I decided to try something a little bit different for me and get a detail shot of the dagger with the roses. I clearly love focusing on people's facial expressions, and as a result, I don't often remember to get detail shots. But there was something really compelling about the textures and intricacies of the dagger, the flowers, her rings. I also wanted to get a couple of shots of Delilah with her mannequin, being that one of her main crafts is making costumes and clothing. I also just really liked the idea of her interacting with an inanimate human form. It's something I'd like to explore further in another shoot one day. That's everything from this shoot. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in another video soon.